So we find ourselves in Ecclesiastes, that's how you pronounce that, and it's more wisdom literature. So we finished Job and Proverbs, all of which try to answer this question, including Ecclesiastes, of like, what is the good life and how to live well. Um, and they all sort of kind of answer this a little bit differently from one another. So um, I just encourage you to kind of, as you're reading this Ecclesiastes, think about how Job and Proverbs both get at this question. Proverbs is kind of like, uh, life is predictable, and two plus two equals four, right? If you do good things, good things will happen. Generally speaking, um, Job is a little bit more. We look at Job's life, and it's told in a parable form. Job is a little bit more like. Uh, Bad things happen to good people, and we don't really know why, right? God's ways are beyond our ways, right? And Ecclesiastes sort of just takes another shot at it. So, in the Jewish Bible, the Hebrew Bible, um, this book is called Kohelet. That's how you pronounce that, Kohelet. That is the word Ecclesiastes is the Greek translation of the Hebrew word Kohelet. And Kohelet is like the author, so to speak. It's kind of um, uh, it's not the actual author; it's this imagined author, right? And Kohelet just means gatherer of an assembly, or like teacher, that sort of thing. So you can imagine Kohelet is a teacher, Ecclesiastes is a teacher, right? The book itself is like a teacher. So Kohelet's this wise teacher for whom theology, what we think about God, meets like real on the ground life, how those things come together. So there is this tension in Ecclesiastes. This word vanity appears 30 plus times. Um, and it's in this context of like life is incomprehensible and unreliable, and it's kind of hard to tack down how life really works. But there's also this counterpoint that comes out of joy. There's a lot of joy in Ecclesiastes, and this tension is like part and partial to the message. It is the message. The tension is the message that Kohelet observes the world and all of its contradictions in order to overturn this idea that life is totally predictable, and we can be certain about things. And it's sort of underscoring God is God and we are not. Therefore, we have to understand our place in all this. So the questions that Kohelet's looking for, what is the good life? If you were rich, powerful, and smart, would you be happy? What's the best case scenario for a human being? It's sort of chasing this question of what does it mean to live well? And it's a lot of musings, ponderings. And so just kind of reflecting on some of the bigger points. Too much stuff in life gets you nothing. Pleasure comes from God. Kohelet says that a disciplined life is about having realistic expectations, having a healthy relationship with material goods or just with stuff, and recognizing the limits of human knowledge. And then joy, according to Kohelet, comes from the sort of satisfaction of basic physical needs, a roof over your head, food in your belly. Joy comes from satisfying work and from personal relationships. And ultimately, God gives all of these things. So, Ecclesiastes, great book, and I hope that you enjoy it.